What if I told you that we may be living in a fractal holographic universe, a universe that's made of light, that actually is made of frequency, which is the version of light that's actually slowed down to give us the illusion of solidity. We are living in a universe that is imbued with a divine spark that in some way doesn't really have anything in it except for consciousness. We have this grand illusion of individuality. We have this grand illusion of solidity, this grand illusion of distance. In actuality, there is no distance, there is no individuality. There is no place that you can go and say, I'm at this location. In true reality, the only thing that exists is consciousness. This is something that's overlooked by many, many people. We take for granted this mystical realm that we're living in, and we believe wholeheartedly what our sensory perception tells us. But as we begin to look into the nature of reality itself, we discover something interesting. That we are living in a fractal holographic matrix made of light. And some may say, well, what does this have to do with anything, right? Well, you have to understand that once you wrap your mind around this, everything you see, everything you think, everything you feel begins to shift and change. Because you begin to realize that your attachments to physicality in this third dimension will begin to fade away. And yes, you'll still want to have a new pair of shoes on so you wouldn't have holes in your shoes. And yes, you would still like to have a decent car so that you can get to work. I'm speaking metaphorically and understanding that be grateful for what you have, work to build legacy, but at the same time understand that this matrix, and it is a matrix, is a game to be played. And the winners often are the ones that master certain aspects of this game. Right now I'm sitting in Egypt at Luxor. Luxor is right behind me. You can see it right there, plain as day. All right? Beautiful, beautiful ancient temple. And Luxor, where do we get the name luxury from? We get it from the Temple of Luxor in Egypt. It is that opulent. As you're walking through the temple, you can actually feel the abundance. You can feel the mindset of the architecture and the blueprint that was laid out and then followed through as you see these megalithic one-piece crystal diorite statues that are weighing 1,000 tons and obelisks that weigh 800 tons and all these incredible sights to see. Who knows how many hundreds of thousands of hieroglyphs throughout the temple and megalithic columns. And just the layout and the design speaks to opulence. The ancient Egyptians understood a lot about reality and manifesting reality, but they also understood the non-local, non-physical world in a way that most people haven't been able to experience or understand or conceive of yet. One of the greatest Egyptians, in my personal opinion is Thoth, T-H-O-T-H. He called himself an Atlantean priest king. And yes, the ancient Egypt pre-dynastic, when it was called the land of Kemet, was one of the original lands of the Atlantean civilization. He claimed to have ruled over the land of Kemet for 16,000 years. However, that's not the point. The point is, one of his main mystery school teachings was to understand that everything here is an illusion, and that there's a higher version of yourself that's attached to you here. To understand it, to listen to it, to seek the heights of higher dimensions of consciousness, and to become the light. He understood that this realm was created and manifested by frequency, cymatics. He even specifically talks about uttering a specific frequency that can help him manifest solid matter. He then also demonstrates specific frequencies that can actually allow you to go through portals. He understood how to manipulate this third dimension in this universe in a way that had to do with frequency, vibration, and conscious thought. He would merge his light, which was his consciousness, with cymatics, which he would speak, and the two together would be so powerful from his level of understanding, he would create and alter different realities and even build structures that way. This is a magical, magical place. They understood the illusion of the nature of reality, and they would mirror that inside of the temples. They would create an as above, so below scenes throughout most temples, either left or right, and up or down. They were sending us a message. They were sending us a message from the past, letting us know that what's happening on the micro is also happening on the macro and vice versa. And they were able to then convey that, if you can decipher the text, to the reader, to the person gathering this new information, this new knowledge, so that we can begin to understand that as within, so without. The inner world reflects the outer world. And that we ourselves are pretty much generating and creating reality on the fly. And that we are consciously collaborators or co-collaborators in reality, in the timeline, and even in shifting and fracturing the actual timeline as a whole. That every thought that we take action on has a specific impact on this timeline and can move us in different directions, along with that shifting realities for not only us, everyone in the known universe. Everything is quantum entangled, so what happens here resonates all the way to the furthest planet, the furthest sun, the furthest being away from us. It all interacts, it's all affected. Every conscious thought creates a butterfly effect. And just knowing this and understanding this, for me, it allowed me to look at life a lot differently. It allowed me to begin to realize I need to move in a different way. I need to think and speak in a different way. I need to interact in a different way. That I am such a powerful being that I have a huge impact just by thinking, speaking, acting, as well as who I come in contact with, who's watching. When you gather this understanding, when you understand the power that's really inside of you, you begin to realize you can shift realities. And you're very cautious then of how you think, how you speak, and how you interact. Many of us are just floating through life, interacting in ways that don't serve our highest purpose, don't serve our highest good, and don't serve the highest good of those around us. Many of us are very selfish. Many of us are ignorant to the fact that we blow opportunities and we don't spend time in the moment of now. There's so many aspects of us that can be taken for granted. I can keep going on for days. But the ultimate goal for you is to realize that we're playing a role in a huge digital play. And I do mean digital. This realm is a digital realm. Not as in zeros and ones, but it's running on the same code as computer code. Professor James Gates Jr., Professor James Gates Jr., a professor at the University of Maryland, former scientific advisor to Obama, and when he was president, got together with a group of incredible mathematicians, and they decided to take on the challenge of trying to figure out what the ether of space-time itself, what is it made of? What is this soup that we're inhabiting? What is this realm? And they discovered something called the Adinkra codes. Now in these Adinkra codes, they begin to turn these symbols into three-dimensional objects. And as they looked at them as three-dimensional objects, they begin to see mathematical codes hidden in them. As they were able to extract these mathematical codes, they discovered that there was something specific. They were called error-correcting codes. But not just any error-correcting codes. They just so happen to be the same exact error-correcting codes that run search engines and web browsers. So this realm that we're living in is running off of a code. Matter of fact, it's several codes. We have the Adinkra codes. We also have, we know that it's running off of this fractal holographic frequency, or this this cymatic that allows fractals to multiply down to smaller and smaller scales, and also up to higher and larger scales. We have the Mandelbrot set, which breaks down the fractal and allows it to persist. We have pi, phi. We have all these incredible mathematical, incredible constants that we have now discovered within nature that lets us know that this realm is being created by mathematics and some type of very sophisticated spiritual software. And so the knowledge of this really can ignite you and send you in the right direction, or you could let it frighten you, and then you can succumb to having too much information and get very strange, or maybe even self-sabotage yourself, or just give up altogether. Like I told you before in many videos, we are creating warriors, not worriers. If you're a worrier, you must shift that into becoming a warrior. And the only way to do that is through practice. Facing this new information head on and strong, and not being afraid to embrace it, not being afraid to dig deeper into it, and not being afraid to wrap your mind around it, and then beginning to act on it. The understanding and the wisdom that you gain from acting on this knowledge can transform a civilization, it can transform a planet, can transform a solar system, can transform a galaxy. It's so important that we really understand who we are and what our place is within this universe. Otherwise, we just kind of haphazardly move through it without understanding how we're affecting and changing things, or not changing things to our favor or benefit. There's a lot of NPCs in this realm, non-player characters, but I choose to be a player character. I choose to be a person on the stage that's conducting an orchestra. I choose to be the one that is considered what they call, quote unquote, the black sheep. I choose to be the one to question. I choose the one to be ridiculed. I'll be the one that gets ridiculed. It doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that I evolve as a person, and that I wrap my mind around these philosophical, scientific concepts so that I can figure out my place in the world and who I really am. Most people never really truly understand or find out who they are. They never truly understand or find out what their purpose is. And the reason why is not because they don't want to. They don't have a reference point of an understanding of their place in the universe and how everything is connected. What I just taught today briefly is just a very brief summary of how all interconnected we actually are, and how we are all kind of co-creating reality. Because of the principle of cause and effect out of ancient Kemet from the Kemetic principles, we know that every conscious thought you take and put action behind, you're going to have a consequence. Whether it's a good consequence or a bad consequence, it's guaranteed that there will be a consequence. And since we're playing a game and we're literally, the ultimate goal is to get to the next level spiritually, it's all about figuring out how this realm works, how everything vibrates. How do you follow the breadcrumbs through the matrix to get to the other side, where you can get to the manifestation state and you can begin to attract things into your life that serve you. When you don't focus on meditating on this, or focus on building this understanding and acting on it, then a lot of the times I see people that just can't figure out why they can't make it, why they can't become successful, why they can't manifest a trip to Egypt with me and be here at Luxor, right? I have a boat full of people. This cruise ship that I'm sitting on top of right now, the rooftop, is maxed out with all forbidden knowledge family. We're on tour right now. So we've been sailing down the Nile for 7 days, and there's no one on this ship except for us. 95 incredible souls. So these people are masters at manifesting. Not all of them are rich. Not all of them are well off. Some of them leverage themselves to be here, but they're all extremely happy. They're all extremely grateful. And these are some of the greatest, grateful, happiest people I've ever been around in a very long time. They understand the power of sacrifice and the power of action it takes to manifest. They understand that things can be seen as illusory. So don't take everything at first face value. Do research, study, investigate, ask questions. The key behind living a great life and manifesting your dreams is rooted in an understanding of who you truly are. That's why I created the Forbidden Knowledge Academy. I wanted people to get an opportunity and a chance to really dig deep and find out who they are, where they came from, and what their purpose truly is. A lot of this starts with really digging deep into the core values of yourself, breaking those down and apart, finding and keeping what resonates, and then replacing what doesn't resonate with the new knowledge and information you've acquired, and then building from there. If we don't do that, we're going to continue to make the same mistakes and continue to repeat the same mistakes over and over again as we cycle in and out of this rise and fall of our consciousness and our businesses and our relationships and everything else. And I'm no expert at everything. There's one area of my life that I'm a phenomenal master at manifesting in. There may be another area of my life that I'm not as great as manifesting in that area long term. So we're all in this together. We are all here to share, teach, understand, hold accountable each other so that we can grow together, so that we can become one solid conscious unit, and there'll be no division between us. I often think about things like this Luxor temple behind me and the mind of the architect that built it, and how this architect planned for future generations and built a time capsule out of this thing, and how just only in today's age, in the 21st century, would we recognize the brilliance and the greatness, not just from aesthetics, but also from mathematics, sacred geometry, and the hidden wisdom and knowledge in every single stone and the way that it's laid out. It truly is a masterpiece and also a metaphor or a mirror of the universe itself. It allows you to walk through there and begin to absorb energies. It allows you to walk through there and get access to diorite crystal and crystal granite structures that are storing information as databases, as the ancients say, and tap into that ancient wisdom and that ancient knowledge without even having to touch the stones. What a magical place, but also a place that gives you an understanding the way it's laid out as you're passing through different layers of time. You're running down different timelines as you walk through from the front to the back of this temple. And it gives you the ability to kind of see how you're moving through these fractals. And by the time you get to the end, you become an ascended master as you walk into the Holy of Holies. This is the way they set it up. Now, a regular tourist thinks, oh, look at these giant, stones. Let me just walk over here and take some selfies and walk around a little bit and toss my plastic bottle down on the ground and walk out. But an adept initiate sees something totally different. Totally different. They see an incredible, powerful structure imbued with divine knowledge and wisdom, and also a capacitor that's storing information, knowledge, and wisdom that can be transferred into you. And so there's so much going on here, but the biggest message you may want to take from this is, how can we realize that we're literally all interconnected, all interwoven? When you see somebody, whether they're nice or whether they're bad, there's still another part of you. Like the Mayans used to say, "In la kek alakin," I am another you. It only takes us a few minutes to sit down and sit back and meditate on this information so that we can begin to realize it really is all about how we are on the inside, how we reflect on the inside, how we work on our inside, and how we comprehend what we see on the outside, how we discern it, so that we can make a better future together. If you don't work towards making a better future together, then we have only individuals moving up in certain areas, but not the masses. And those individuals will become lonely and stay lonely because there'll be nobody for them to resonate with as they move through this matrix. They'll be isolated. We need people in positions of power to move up the rankings and move into different areas so we can begin to take charge and take control over different systems and push it towards our favor. You see? This is a big movement. It's a movement on how we can collectively change the world together. So if we do that, if we work together, and if you begin to work on yourself and look into the science behind reality, so you can lift the veil and find out exactly what's really going on in the spiritual realm, you'll find that you'll be able to tap in at a higher place, a higher source. You'll feel better. Your stress levels will drop. Your anxiety for situations that you don't understand fully will drop. The way that you see people who are attacking or trolling you will drop. And you'll become a more relaxed, better person. You'll become a warrior that's set to repair or to bring solutions to problems, to build legacy, to build abundance, and also to understand that you have the possibility or the capability of actually fracturing timelines with conscious thought and actions. If you want to learn more about these theories and these ancient topics and these ancient wisdom teachings, make sure you click the link underneath this video or in this audio or the link in my bio, and make sure you actually sign up for the Forbidden Knowledge Academy ASAP. I will be your mentor along with my coaching team, and together with us and over 1,200 incredible leaders in the group, we're going to hold you accountable, push you to continue and complete your exercises, and help you build what you're looking to build and help you become the best version of yourself that you could become. So make sure you click the link underneath this caption of this video or audio, and also make sure you click that link in my bio if you don't see that link, and join the Forbidden Knowledge Academy, and I'll be there waiting for you along with 1,200 leaders. Peace.